our books, and today we're going to be talking about our 5 best books for 0 to 8-year-olds.
So it was really hard trying to find these books. We haven't read all of the books for 0 to 8-year-olds in the world, but we have selected our top 5 best ones that we, from our knowledge, recommend.
This video is for Maggie and Rose live, and Gigi asked us to do this.
So for our books, we are going to split them into 3 different categories. So 0 to 4-year-olds, 4 to 6-year-olds, and 6 to 8-year-olds. So let's get started.
So the first book for 0 to 4-year-olds is The Elves and the Shoemaker, and this book is a remake of the very famous story of The Elves and the Shoemaker. So this book is about a poor shoemaker who tries his best to make shoes to provide for him and his wife, but sadly they don't sell very much and he doesn't earn that much money. But he's really humble and he's really nice and kind. One night though, he wakes up and sees fancy shoes on the table, and when he goes to sell them, he gets so much money from them. So I'm going to read you a taster of that night where he found those shoes on the table. The next morning, after eating some scraps of leftover food, the shoemaker went into his workshop. He couldn't believe his eyes. Where last night he had left cut pieces of leather, he now found the most beautiful finished pair of shoes. The stitches were tiny and the work was better than anything he'd seen. "My dear wife, come and see," cried the shoemaker, dancing around the room in delight. Later that morning, a customer came into the shop. The shoemaker was a little ashamed because the only shoes he had to sell were the wonderful pair he had found that morning. But he needn't have worried. The customer was delighted with the beautiful shoes. Not only did he pay the shoemaker double the price, he also ordered another pair of shoes to be ready the following week. With the money, the shoemaker bought food and enough leather to make 2 pairs of shoes. That night, just as before, he cut out the leather before going to bed.
Also, can I just say that with the Elves and the Shoemaker, can I have the book back, please? You can see that the shoemaker is an elephant, but then in the real tale, it wouldn't have been that. It's just, I think it's just for like that kind of child purpose. So the next and the last book for the 0 to 4-year-old category is Shark in the Park, illustrated and written by Nick Sharratt. So Kirsten actually has some connection with Nick Sharratt. Would you want to tell us?
Yes, in class 2, back in primary school.
Year 4.
Yeah, year 4. I wrote a letter to Nick Sharratt, the illustrator of Jack and Wilson, which is he's the most famous for. And he actually replied and sent me a really, really nice letter back and some postcards and some illustrations. And he also said that my drawing of a character of his, Tracy Beaker, was really good. So that was really great to get a letter back from him.
Anyways, about Shark in the Park now, I'm going to read you the blurb, then I will put it in my own words. Timothy Pope, what can you see through a telescope? Is there really a shark in the park? Go on, be brave, open the book and see. So Timothy Pope is out in the park with his favourite telescope, and he is looking at different things, and a lot of things kind of look like a shark. So I'm going to show you a few of the things he sees. So he looks up, he looks down, and then he says, "There is a shark in the park." If we turn the page over, you see it's just a cat's ear. So if you get this book, you can see all of the things that Timothy sees through his telescope, and maybe you can try to spot whether there is a shark or not.
So the next category is books for 4 to 6-year-olds, and the book that I have got is My Mummy is a Soldier, and this book is by Karen Bryan and Jason Bryan, so I'm guessing they're related, maybe. But this is such a great book for children to start reading on their own because it breaks stereotypes that only a certain gender can have certain jobs. You mainly see men as soldiers, but you hardly ever see women. So this book is really great to empower and motivate girls that want to be soldiers that they can do it. So I'm going to read you an extract of this book I found, and it's a rhyming book, which is really great, and rhyming books catch children's attention much more than books with just words that don't. Soldiers protect the nation so that all is safe and sound, and when I watch my mum march, it makes me feel so proud. My mummy is a soldier, she loves adventurous training, rock climbing, caving and skiing, but her favourite is offshore sailing. She's also joined the bobsleigh team, she loves it through and through. And other soldiers even play sports at Olympic level too. Soldiers protect the nation, making friends in the places they go, and sometimes compete in sports with them to help those relationships grow. And here is a picture. So we got this book from Not Only Pink and Blue, which is a website which also breaks stereotypes, because you see that when you go on clothes stores, most of the baby clothes and young girl clothes are pink and frilly, and most of the boy clothes are blue and green and have got dinosaurs on them. But that website breaks the stereotypes, and it has clothes for boys and girls in any sort of colour, which I think is really, really great. So that's where we got this book.
Also, are there any other books that are similar to this?
Yes, there is actually a book called My Mummy is a Firefighter, and there's also one called My Mummy is an Engineer, and there's another one called My Daddy's a Nurse, but that's not all in the series. So if you guys want to check the series out, it's a great series, go to the website Not Only Pink and Blue.
So the next book for the category 4 to 6-year-old is My Invisible Superhero Mask. So I'm going to read you a bit of an extract when I tell you a bit more about this book. So it is written by Melissa Titter and illustrated by Jason Lee, and this book is about the superhero within you. So you don't need a special cape or a special superhero mask, as long as you be yourself, I guess, then you have that superhero within you. So I'm going to read you an extract from this book. Let me just open up to the page. Okay. Superheroes are good friends. Hello, my name's Compassionate Karen, and I want to let you know that you are a superhero just like me. I am here to teach you a lesson on compassion and to tell you that superheroes don't really care about fashion. Superheroes care more about who they are inside, and they never do anything to make others cry. When superheroes see a friend in need, this is when they'll pick up their speed. A superhero to rescue is a friend indeed. So that's all I'm going to read for now. Here you can see a photo of a superhero helping another friend, picking up a bit of litter there, and a superhero helping an elderly walk across the road. And I really like the cover of this book because we see different types of superheroes, so diverse superheroes. We see someone in a wheelchair here, someone with different ethnic minorities. So it really is showing you that whoever you are, you can still be a superhero. Now Mel actually runs a group called Superhero Academy, and it helps with growth mindset and, finding that superhero within you. So the book for the category 6 to 8-year-olds is The Adventures of Captain Underpants by Dav Pilkey. And this book is so funny, massive part of my childhood, just makes me laugh out loud. I'm just going to read this book again because it's so great, but I'm going to read an extract for you guys. So this is from chapter 12. Oh, let me just read the book first, actually. George and Harold have created the greatest superhero in the history of their school, and now they're about to bring him to life. Meet Captain Underpants. His true identity is so secret, even he doesn't know who he is. Sounds a bit mysterious, doesn't it?
Alright, now I'm going to read chapter 12, and this is when they've just turned the head teacher into Captain Underpants. George and Harold dashed to the window and looked out. There, running across the car park, was a pudgy old guy in his underwear with a red cape flowing behind him. I love this book, it's very graphic. Mr. Croc, come back, shouted Harold. He won't answer to that, said George. He thinks he's Captain Underpants now. Oh no, said Harold. He's probably running off to fight a crime, said George. Oh no, said Harold. And we gotta stop him, said George. Oh no, cried Harold. No way! Look, said George, he could get killed out there. Harold was unmoved. Or worse, said George, we could get into big trouble. You're right, said Harold. We gotta go after him. And that is my extract.
So that concludes our review for top 5 books for 0 to 8-year-olds. If there's any children who are within that age range, I'm pretty sure it would be good for you to get them one of these books and you won't regret it.
Also, thank you so much to Maggie and Rose's Live for asking us to do this, because we actually had a lot of fun looking back on all of our childhood books and the books that we used to read and all the books that we've ripped up and coloured on.
We hope you enjoyed this. Bye!
Bye!